people pick and choose when they want to consider a Dominican black.
Right.
Or give us the black card, per se.
Right.
I was being wheeled into that, and I'm honestly so happy that I woke the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't cute, but I'm here, and now you guys have me, so.
And the black dog came with more things. And it was cheaper. You damn right I bought her. But I was like, that's crazy. I only wish I recorded it.
There's racist Dominicans.
Yeah.
And that's probably what bothers me the most are the racist Dominicans, because it's like, bro, son igualitos ustedes dos.
Like, you black as fuck, bro. You black. Like, you're black.
Like, you're the same. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Millennials podcast. We're your hosts, Gray
and Inez.
And today we're going to talk about something that we've dealt with our whole entire life. And it's the fact that Dominicans, our people, deny that they are black.
For their African American ancestries.
Yeah, and we've seen this one too many times where it's like there's racist Dominicans.
Yeah, and
that's probably what bothers me the most are the racist Dominicans, because it's like, bro, son igualitos ustedes dos.
Like, you black as fuck, bro. You black. Like, you're black.
Like, you're the same.
But you know what I think it is too? It's one of those things that is like
annoying.
It is annoying, and we have a different experience because we're brought up as American. We're first generation Americans. Like both our parents were people that came from another country, and my experience is a little bit different because I've asked my mom, like, Mom, am I black? And she told me no. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, I just believed her because, like, when you look in the mirror and you don't go to school with people that, like, look like you and everybody's Puerto Rican and you're not Puerto Rican. Yeah, no, you're not Puerto Rican. You're not Puerto Rican. And it's just a feeling of feeling like an outcast because you don't necessarily know what you are. So you're kind of like, you don't feel Dominican because you're not from DR, but you're American. But America is racist as fuck. So it's one of those things where you don't know what you are at some point. You know, and you have to go through that period of becoming awakened and, like, coming to the realization of what it means to be black and have the black experience and know the underlining of what that is. You know, because I feel like in DR, with what it is psychologically with Dominicans, is the fact that they're from another country, and in DR, you don't be like, oh, what are you? Oh, what are you? Nigga, you Dominican. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to tell a Jamaican, oh, what are you? I'm fucking Jamaican, nigga. Like, what you mean? Like, same with someone from Nigeria. Oh, I'm Nigerian. Oh, I'm Spaniard. That's how they process that. I feel like what America's issue is we're so stuck on labels and everybody's so caught up on that when we need to stop doing that. Like, people need to stop being so label crazy and, like, unite, because
that's just what they're accustomed to, though.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, Chris, the only reason why Dominicans say that is, like, because they take pride in, like, their culture. You know, we're proud people. You know, and again, they don't.
We're a little ignorant.
We're ignorant, but they don't. Again, that's the dictatorship that they went through too.
Trujillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that rooted a bunch of people that just stay thinking the same way.
But it still came from, guess what, bro? It still came from that slave trade. It all cemented from that slave trade. And the problem is that's the island. Because that's a common island issue. Because the issue isn't that they're racist. The issue is that they're colorist. Because there's Asian Dominicans, there's
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. And even the Asian Dominican is going to say, I'm fucking Dominican, bro. Like, what you mean? Like, I was born here, I was raised here, I'm Dominican. But that's how...
Dominican, but
I'm Dominican. That's how people are. You're not going to tell a Jamaican, like... Because it's, like, you know?
Yeah.
They're Jamaican. I keep saying Jamaican, but...
I know, like...
I don't know. You Trini. Like, you Honduras. You from Honduras, bro.
I'm about to order some oxtails. Stop.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've been to Jamaica, too. That's why. Like,
I haven't been, so...
You should go. It's beautiful.
It's on my list.
It's fun. It's, you know?
It's on my list. I'm going.
But...
At some point.
It all stems from... Like, imagine what Hitler did to the Germans. Like, Hitler marketed hatred towards the Jews. Like, you have to think about how the Holocaust happened. The Holocaust didn't just fucking happen. No, this was a strategic marketing plan. You don't think something as tragic... We have to think about it strategically, bro. Like, we're sitting here, and a lot of Hispanic, Latin American countries are impoverished because of the slave trade. They milked the resources out of it. You feel me? Puerto Rico had a river filled with gold that they milked it out. You play with the dirt, you shake the dirt off, and the gold dust is still there. Mm-hmm. So you can't sit here and expect like a country that is so in depth. Like, imagine, first of all, Christopher Columbus was buried in DR. That's crazy.
Really?
That's fucking crazy, yes. And then they took him out. Rightfully, because I was going to write a letter.
Then they took him out?
Yeah, they took him out because we was like, because they heard I was going to say something. Because I was going to write a letter. I was like, get this jigaboo away from me. Get him out of there. Get him out.
Christopher Columbus.
What do they call him in DR? They have a name for him. It'll be like el something. Comment down below. Like,
El something?
yeah. Isn't he like el robador or some shit like that? El ladrón. He's a ladrón. That's what he is. Regardless, explain that. Basically, what we're trying to explain is the history of why.
Okay.
Dominicans have this misconception, because that's exactly what it is, of why they do not see themselves as black. Because if you think about it, we all have the similar experiences. Like, some of us do, in fact, go through more discrimination than others. We're ignorant not to say that. You know,
even the fact that they can't, coexist with the Haitians.
Yeah.
Is even more proof of their ignorance.
But even then, that's more because of the news media and like how they're promoting it. And apparently, they build a border. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. They build a border.
Yeah. Same island. It's the same island.
I don't understand.
It's the same island.
I don't understand. It's the same island, but it's not, because unfortunately Haiti's the side of the island that gets a lot of earthquakes and hurricanes and like
they have a complex ecosystem.
Yes. So it's like, and even then, DR still can't keep their own shit together.
I mean, they're hella corrupted.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like no...
And that corruption, I feel like, shows in its people. Definitely.
Yeah, but
it's the government.
It's like, you know how, first of all, we know there's crooked cops and shit everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, even here in New York.
And even then, we speak the white man's language, because Spanish ain't...
But over here, they still cover it up. You know what I mean? They still cover it up and make it look like shit is sweet, like they do good and all this, which...
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're all bad apples, but there's a lot of bad apples. You know?
I also feel like it's also ignorant to grow up with cultural issues like that are based on erasing the black, like removing the black from you, you know?
Like perming your hair.
Yeah. basically, like perming your hair.
That's a big one.
Fixing the wrist, you know, like
Have
you ever had your parents go up to you and be like, oh, you see that white man? Like, you need to marry a white man like that.
Oh, yeah, para refinar la raza.
Right.
Like,
not over here. Like, and it don't work, thankfully. But not everyone is as, like, accepting as that. I hear people and I hear the experience of darker skinned women who go to DR and they get treated like shit. Yeah. Like they get treated terribly. And it's really unfortunate to hear something like that because we go home and it's like a big old hug. Like they say DR has the best hospitality. It has the top 3 beaches. So it's one of those things that it's like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like on paper,
everybody's mad friendly. They lit most of the time, but
yeah, it's one of those things. But like, we're Dominican, we're light skinned. We apparently, you know.
At the moment, like, I'm not gonna hold you. I need a tan real bad.
LOL, not this. This is not what this is.
I'm looking a little paler than
she said, damn. LOL. That's not what this is about at the end of the day. Stand strong, stand proud. It don't matter. That blood, that little vitamin B. That blood's still red, sis. That blood's still red. Period.
No, I am. I'm still a platano. I'm just like, I need a tan. That's all. Let's move on.
Do you feel Dominican enough? Do you feel like you're Dominican enough?
Yeah, I'm Dominican enough. Dominican enough. This one word.
Do you feel like you're black enough?
Yeah. I feel like I got both worlds, like, unlocked. Yeah.
Do you cringe when you hear these kids be like, I'm Dominican, I'm not black, I'm Dominican?
I mean, like, how do I say this?
I think it's pride gone too far. It's pride gone too far.
I'm those people that I get irritated when you say dumb shit. So, when you say dumb shit, it irritates me.
But my thing is, it's also... Yeah.
You denying that you're black is dumb because that just means that you didn't educate yourself. And even then, you have internet and you hear people talk about this and you still don't educate yourself, which means not only are you dumb, you're also lazy and you don't give a shit.
No, and you could tell who raised you.
Or you could just be ignorant. That's all.
No, and that's ignorant raising. Because I've definitely... have family members. I don't have them around me and now they're crazier. So it's like, makes sense. Because you was way out there in the first place.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, you was already out the pocket. And now you there. Okay, makes sense. So
that makes sense.
They would say crazy things. They would just be like, I shouldn't say that, to be honest. I'm not going to say it, but they would say very like racial and derogatory terms. And I would be in the car and we'll just be driving and she'll see someone that's like dark skinned and stuff like that. And she would just be so racist and call out like terrible things and call him ugly and things like that. And I'm just like, this poor man is just minding his own business and like, like you a bum bitch in our car getting a ride. Like that part, that ass. Because
so she would have never been the type to like get a kid a brown doll.
Oh my God, you've seen that TikTok? That's like, oh, that looks like her, and it's not her. And it's like, oh my God, they're ill. And it's like, no, they're corrupted. This is a corrupted mentality that's like inbred in the system. Unfortunately, this is not like, you see how racism in America isn't like fixed. Same thing.
I've seen. Remember, I don't know if I talked about this with you, but it was a reel or like a post, but it was about a doll.
Yes.
That it was the same doll.
Yes.
And the dark-skinned doll was cheaper than the white doll.
I've gone...
in the same store.
That happened to me. That happened to me. Yeah. And the black doll came with more things. And it was cheaper. You damn right I bought her. But I was like, that's crazy. I only wish I recorded it. And I was getting a gift from my
I would've,
niece.
yeah.
And I got her a doll because I feel like I've had these certain instances with things, but life and what I've grown up around is brown. You know what I'm saying? Like brown and black and like all around. You know what I'm saying? I've had all types of friends. And so only I grew up in a black community. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, like I grew up in a black community. So even when I saw the white man, I was like, it's different. It was a white man. What the fuck is a white man doing here? What the fuck? Like, oh shit. Like,
they stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh nah, like, yeah. And it's one of those things that even when you walk into white communities, it's like,
yeah, like you feel when people stare at you.
Yeah, and
that's one thing I feel when people stare at me.
Yeah,
that's why I hate going outside.
but one thing is, it's ignorant to have that mentality because we still experience the same issues and problems. Sometimes maybe not to the same extent. I can admit that to myself because, like, at the end of the day, this is way deeper than what we can even discuss on this podcast alone, with the layers and layers and layers and layers. Like, and maybe this is something we can definitely come back to when we have like the professional resources and like doctors and like actual people that can tell you systematically and break it down way more than what we have more
guests. We have more guests.
Yeah.
We have more insight.
And it's definitely something that I'm glad to say it's getting better. At least it's getting a little better because now there's way more Dominicans here now.
Oh, yeah.
So they have to grow up in the hood. Like, they in Washington Heights. Like, yeah,
y como está la renta.
Exactly. So y'all better get used to it. Yeah. Y'all better act right. Because I went to school with... Again, I was with the Spanish people. I was with the Spanish people.
I had a mix.
Yeah, I had a mix, but it was mostly like Spanish and black. Puerto Ricans and black. Like, black kids and Puerto Rican kids. And there was like 3 or 4 Dominican kids in my class. Basically.
My school was so mixed.
Not high school. I mean, like middle school wise. Like, I'm thinking childhood experiences. Like my first realization of race.
Well, middle school wise, I guess. Okay, maybe because I also moved around a lot too. Because I had elementary school in the Bronx, and then I had Queens for middle school and high school. Except for middle school in Queens, the school was mostly white with Spanish and some black. But then high school, Bayside, shout out to Bayside. No.
Right.
No, right. Yeah. Bayside stuff. Bayside was, I think, mostly black and then Spanish and then white. But my neighborhood was white. So I had a mostly black school, but then I went back home to like a mostly white neighborhood where we were like the only Dominicans and we were like the Rakata family.
Period.
Of the neighborhood.
The Rakata.
We were the Rakata family of the neighborhood, the only Dominicans, and we had some haters.
And they were white people.
Yes, like we had people call the cops on our parties.
Just to clarify.
Yes, we literally had people like calling and complaining about our like innocent pool parties and mostly innocent pool parties. You know, but it was because we were the Spanish people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about, let's like flip it around. Let's play devil's advocate, because a lot of people can also say like, a lot of people in the Latin community also feel like they're not accepted by the black community.
What do you mean?
Like some people feel like Spanish people aren't black. Like,
oh, I've experienced some shit like that.
Yeah, like some people just feel like I just feel like you never really feel welcome. Like at the end of the day, you're not white. Like we ain't white.
It's like I've and I think I've posted this before, where it's like people pick and choose when they want to consider a Dominican black.
Right.
Or give us the black card per se.
Right.
It's like they want to pick and choose. Because I had someone from college who I was cool with. Like we were like close friends. Like we had reunions and stuff like that. And she was from New Orleans originally, and we were not in college for maybe like 2-3 years, whatever. Whole time dope as fuck. It wasn't until maybe like 3 years after college that she went MIA for a little bit, and then she reached back out and sent me a whole paragraph telling me how much it bothered her anytime I said the N-word around her. And I'm just like,
but this is the thing, like,
Dominican, like,
right,
that's usually never an issue for anyone with common fucking sense.
Right.
That Dominicans say the N-word all the time.
I also feel like it's one of those things that people in general don't know if they want to say, like, nigga. Like, they don't know.
I just feel like it was for attention. Because if this bothered you so much, you would have said it back then, sis.
Right. Like.
What? all of a sudden, the N-word bothered you, but when I was gossiping about my ex, or whatever,
black people as a whole,
black
people as a whole need to figure out whether or not to say the N-word. Let's keep it real. Like, and the N-word originated from Nigeria. Like, so they say. And I came up being Nigerian. That's all I'm gonna say. Damn. I did the blood work. Yeah, I did the blood work. So I confirmed it. Like, but that's the thing too. Being Dominican, you are really mixed race. You're mixed.
And Dominicans,
you are black. You are definitely black.
Dominicans are one of those where it's like, you can't really pinpoint what a Dominican looks like.
Exactly. And there was also an article that's like, but that's also the thing too. This is a good point. And I'm sorry to like digress, but my friend asked me, she was like, do you think that DR would ever be part of the US? I was like, no, because Dominicans think they're better. Like, why why? Bitch, sorry.
Dominicans don't actually rep the US.
Girl, we were there before the US. Like, exactly. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Like, she was like, are you serious? I was like, absolutely. Do you know who my people are? We are stubborn. Okay? They are stubborn people. This is why we don't think we're black. Because Trujillo built that shit in them and it's like, it worked.
They just be thinking.
Like, Niño Trujillo was black. By the way, you need to put a picture. Yeah, put a picture.
Oh,
I thought you were high-fiving me.
Nah, it was
for Trujillo, motherfucker, racist bastard. He was black. Like, the fact of the matter is, she asked me that, and I was like, no. Like the concho, no. Absolutely not. Dude, has too much history.
I rebuke all that energy.
Right. Because we won't let that shit go down. I'm sorry. We were there first. We were there. Again, Christopher Columbus went there first. So we were there way before the U.S. I'm sorry. Like, even though the system's corrupt, we can take care of ourselves. And DR's, again, proudful people. That's why they don't believe in that black shit, because that came after the slave trade.
They're just so dumb.
And they'll claim the indigenous part. So to them, that shit don't make sense. Air quotes, air quotes, air quotes, air quotes. Like,
mind you, we have the curves, the butt, the hair,
the nose, the lips.
Same as Brazilians.
Like,
curvy. And they wonder why.
Girl, I got perms. My mom was trying to,
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, I got perms for a while.
They
like,
do everything and anything.
What?
Like, no lie. One thing I will say is, in the Dominican community, like, if your hair isn't done, like, blow dried, straightened.
Oh my God.
They judge you.
Oh yeah.
They judge you, and they'll tell you everything from like, oh, your hair's gonna fall out your head. That's not good. You gotta blow dry your hair.
Whenever.
Listen, I am a curly community influencer. So,
my mom, when I've had my fro for a while. I've been rocking the fro, if y'all haven't noticed. Not now, it's in a beautiful bun. But y'all see me with my fro sometimes, and my mom be like,
last episode,
tú no te vas a peinar. You're not gonna do your hair? Like, if I'm gonna go blow my hair out.
Like if you skip the step.
Yo.
Wait. Are you finished?
Right. Meanwhile, they all blondes.
Meanwhile, you walked out your house like, I'm ready.
Bottled blondes. I can't stand all of y'all. Like, I be laughing too. I be telling my boyfriend that because he's also Dominican. And I be like, all these blondes, and you got with this little brown
Morenita.
Una morenita. Like,
Yeah.
period. Brown skins.
It's
like,
not always the blondes that have
brown
fun.
skin girls can laugh. Period. Let's go.
Yeah.
Messages, ladies. First of all, Dominicans, you're black. That's it. Period.
Educate
Vete pa la
yourself.
mierda. Like, I'm a Dominican. Suck my ass.
Get
like,
educated.
Exactly. Like, we as Dominicans support this message.
Yes. So we support this. We approve this.
We
message.
approve this message. Get y'all lives together. Stop making us look bad. Because we're here. We're educated to tell y'all and prove y'all wrong. Like, and we love the black community. We are the black community. There is nothing wrong with being black. No. Get that out of your head. It is black is beautiful. Black and proud. Be black and proud. Mm-hmm. I'm not for the labels. I'm here for throwing out labels. I'm not gonna lie. Because as society, we need to get the fuck over that. Because all of this, when we can just unite and overcome, like this got very political. But if as black people can unite and get out of this label, we can overcome the system. That's what I believe. And like quit all this petty shit.
You know what I'm just tired of? And I hope that it can get changed at some point.
What?
I hate when I'm filling out some paperwork and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Where they want to ask you 2 questions, right? They want to ask you, specifically, a lot of times it'll say, are you Hispanic or Latino? Mm-hmm. It'll always have that box. But then it has another box where it asks you, oh, you white,
black,
you native, you black, I'm like, yo.
Right, exactly.
I'm
right. And that's why I'm saying this. Like, it's like, we're not, like, society treats us as if not that. Like
what?
It's confusing.
I mean, I be putting that on black.
I mean, yeah.
I do that before. I used to, like...
But that proves the point that we've been trying to say.
Other, alien, I don't know.
I love being an alien. I am an alien.
Other.
People were saying, I thought Raven Simone was crazy when she was like, I'm other, leave me alone. I was like, you know what, Raven? Yes. Because Raven Simone had to constantly, like, dye her skin to feel like she was black enough.
Yeah, I heard she got lipo and everything before she was 18.
I mean, that got...
Sorry. Sorry, I just read about that yesterday.
That don't got nothing to do with that. I love you, Raven. Like, you were teaching us some valuable ass lessons at the end of the day.
Yes, and a breast reduction. I'm sorry.
What is wrong with you? Yo, you can't help yourself. As you're looking at me like, I fucked up, and then you just didn't stop yourself. Like,
you know when you just read a story yesterday? Like, I just read it yesterday.
Yo, you're terrible. First of all, she always promoted her blackness at the end of the fucking day.
Yes, she did.
And she fell to societal pressure, and she shouldn't have. Because at the end of the day, we can unite. And I feel like that should be that's the mindful millennial way. How can we as a society, all in one, as brothers and sisters, as in this planet, in this earth that we need to take care of, can better and move forward and overcome and make the ancestors proud, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that went through it, and we haven't healed from that, and that's where this comes from. In reality, all these labels and all these flags and all these languages and hair and skin.
We'll talk about generational trauma another day.
Yes.
Type of stuff that gets passed
and
down
that's what this
years.
racism and colorism, that's what this is generational trauma.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna get into this.
Yeah, like you could not even know why your parents have certain characteristics.
They would assign you roles based on how you look. Yes, they would assign you roles in the house. If you were attractive, you would be an in-house slave. That's how they would do it. That's just what it was. If you weren't attractive.
But it's also, I mean, I guess I meant more like on the psychological aspect of it. So like, for example, if I have anxiety, my anxiety could come from someone before my family.
High stress situations. Anxiety. Yeah, highly stressed situations. I looked at my ancestry.
That's crazy.
It's, you know what it is great too? It's sad to look at the ancestry.com and the heritage.com blood work and know that at some point you migrated from another country. Like at some point I had a parent in Italy, off the coast of Italy, and I had a parent in Nigeria living their best lives until some motherfucker showed up.
Somebody linked up with
somebody linked up with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody sent a letter, yo.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Yeah. And you know that's what that was. And sometimes it wasn't consensual. And that's so heartbreaking. Because if you think about how dirty Dominicans are.
I didn't even blink for that one.
You know, like, y'all worried about them being black. They fucking nasty out here, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and say shit, but they got bigger fucking issues.
I'm not going to lie. They sometimes have multiple families. That's all I'm saying.
It's what I'm saying. They lead multiple lives. This ain't nothing. Like,
and then they sometimes play the victim.
They need to get their lives together. We have other behavioral fucking issues to focus on. Like, there's more than just delusion with these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly.
Gotta be careful out there.
Final message for the folks.
Shit. Educate yourself.
Yeah. Accept the reality. And more so, don't just judge people based on race and reality. Don't judge people based on race. Judge them on their action. Because at the end of the day, I feel like if I wasn't raised in New York and raised in the urban community that I was, I wouldn't learn the respect for other cultures. Mm-hmm. You know, if I wasn't sitting here and educating myself and expose myself to different groups, I wouldn't sit here and be able to not at least just judge somebody off what they look like.
Right.
You know, and be prejudiced in that sense. Because I judge you based off experience.
Right.
If that's the case, then all cards are off, and that's just what it is. Like, it don't matter what you look like. That's what I feel. I feel like that's equality, motherfucker. Like,
once it's done, it's done.
Once it's done, it's done. That's it. I don't care what you do, who you are, what you be like.
I feel that.
What about you?
I just feel like people just need a reality check, but a nice one. You know, don't want to be that person.
Girl, no offense, but it was not nice. Slavery wasn't nice. Like, you asking a little bit for too much there.
I mean, but it's freaking common sense. Like, where do you think that our shapes and our hair and our lips come from?
Even
like,
then,
come on.
We're talking about systematic, like, structural racism in our culture. Even the way we talk is to cater.
Yeah, but a lot of people are like brainwashed into that shit because remember, I lived both the DR life and the New York life, so it's like
you racist.
Hell no.
You're racist.
Can I get a cup of hot chocolate? No. I'm not. No, I'm very much.
No, you're not. She's not.
Very much.
You are very not that.
Yes, for lack of better terms.
For lack of better terms.
Yeah.
But go on. I'm sorry.
Snickers is my favorite.
Get out of here.
But shoot, I lost my train of thought thinking about something.
Just love one another. And
oh yes, I would have been a totally different person. I feel like had I stayed living in DR.
Oh, you would have been. I could see that for you.
Just because of the fact that I was under like a strict supervision with a strict parent and a parent that was very much Trujillo-like and was very much a colorist, while he was also darker than me. I was being little by little transformed into that like typical narrative of like, okay, straighten your hair every week, go to school, come back home, basically have no life. Put your dad's juice in a freaking wine glass and take it to him in a tray because it's just what Dominicans do.
The machismo of it.
The machismo of it all.
It's just all wrong sometimes.
I was being wheeled into that, and I'm honestly so happy that I woke the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't cute, but I'm here, and now you guys have me, so...
You know what? It was because you practiced being mindful, sis. You were aware of what was going on and you didn't agree with it.
And I wasn't PUSSY.
And as long as you can acknowledge that, I feel like you're one step closer to being less of an asshole.
Yeah, don't be scared to just accept it. Just accept it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Just accept it.
It doesn't make you lesser at all, so...
Welcome to the fucking barbecue, bitch. Like...
Yeah.
That's it. It's lit. The food's good. Like, literally, the
food
food is delicious. The food is fucking delicious here. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. We outside.
We have, como dice Miley, the best of both worlds.
Right, because we got the Caribbean. Yeah, we got the Caribbean side of it too. Yeah. Definitely.
Close out with Miley.
Period.
Best of both worlds.
We're your hosts, people. Thank you for joining us.